Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello learners, welcome to this course on Integrated Marketing Communications. The lecture's title today is Understanding the Promotional Mix, Tools for Integrated Marketing Communication. I am Dr. Bhavneet Bhatti from School of Communication Studies, Punjab University. Before we move on to the second module, let us do a quick recap of all that we had learned in the first module. Learners, we began with the concept of advertising and promotions. We understood that how marketing is a comprehensive term that involves everything from the conception of the product to the sale of the product. And to do all this, marketers require marketing communication. We understood that this whole comprehensive process of marketing can be understood under marketing mix if we are in awareness of the 4 ingredients of marketing mix, which is product, price, place, and promotions. We also understood that the concept of integrated marketing communication falls under the promotional element of this whole mix. Thereafter, we moved on to see the definition and concept of integrated marketing communication. We understood that it is this whole process of bringing together the organization's message in a concise, in a concrete, cohesive, and a compelling format. Thereafter, we also understood the objectives, components, and theoretical foundations of integrated marketing communication. And we zeroed in on the fact that in today's day and age, it is of extreme importance that organizations are able to communicate with their consumers, and they are able to do this in a very concise, in a very precise, and a very cohesive manner. We are going to further move on in this today, and we are going to see how do organizations do this, and this requires an understanding of the promotional mix, which gives you the various tools for integrated marketing communication. So what are we going to learn in today's lecture? Number 1, we will have an introduction to the concept of promotional mix. What is promotions? What is promotional mix? Then we'll move on to understand what are the various ingredients of the promotional mix, which are also known as the tools for IMC. And lastly, we are going to look at the market segmentation and targeting and positioning concepts, which help us in achieving the best results for usage of the promotional mix. Let's move on to the introduction to the promotional mix part of our lecture. Promotion has been defined as the coordination of all seller-initiated efforts to set up the channels of information and persuasion. And in order to do what? In order to sell goods and services or to promote an idea. So promotion in simplest words can be understood as the organization's way of communicating with their audience. And in today's day and age, like I told you, this needs to be done in a very carefully planned and controlled manner. Therefore, the promotional mix needs to be designed to achieve the communication objectives of an organization. Let us see how this whole mix is designed. Now, before you go on to the ingredients, let us see that what all does one require to have this mix working in the right condition. Philip Kotler is an authority over marketing concepts, and the definition according to Philip Kotler is that a company's total marketing communication mix, which is also called its promotional mix, consists of a specific blend of advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, public relation, and direct marketing tools. So these are the ingredients which need to be blended in the correct manner. And what does it do? It helps you in fulfilling your marketing communication objectives. So these tools that the company uses to pursue its advertising and marketing objectives. In simple words, promotional mix is a combination of elements that can help in reaching out to a customer. The purpose is to inform, persuade, and remind the customers about the organization's product, service, and idea. So whatever it takes to let your consumer know about the existence of your product, it persuades him or her to buy your product, and keep buying the same product and maintain a brand loyalty. So we use these ingredients in a manner so that we can achieve these objectives for an organization. Let's see how is this done. Traditionally, promotional mix had these following elements. Like we just learned in Philip Kotler's definition, promotional mix included publicity and public relations, personal selling, one of the most visible ingredients, advertising, and one of the most impulse buying initiated element, sales promotion. But of late, there are two new elements which have been added to the promotional mix. Learners, these two elements are direct marketing and interactive media. Now, with the change of technology, internet has become most important ingredient in most of the communication activities. That is why when we look at this promotional mix, we are going to look at both the traditional ingredients and the newly added ingredients. All these ingredients together help you in reaching out to the consumer in the best possible manner. Now, integrated marketing communications, like we said, is bringing together all these marketing communication activities. We have just seen the tools of IMC or the elements of promotional mix. In simple words, we can also say that IMC helps in integrating all these elements in the correct manner. Each element of the promotional mix can be understood as a tool for IMC, as it helps in bringing out a clear, consistent, and compelling message. And each element has its own distinctive place in the mix with specific advantages, with specific qualities, which makes it important ingredient of the mix. Friends, let's start looking at these ingredients one by one to be able to understand what each element helps in achieving and what are the distinctive advantages of these elements. Number one, advertising. Now, I am going to begin with advertising because it is the most visible element and it is the most prominent element. It's got the maximum reach, it's got the maximum persuasion. So let's begin by understanding how advertising acts as an ingredient of the promotional mix. We all know that advertising has been defined as any paid form of non-personal presentation, promotion of goods, ideas, and services by an identified sponsor. What are the key elements of this definition? Number one, it's a paid form of communication, which means that you require to purchase space and time in the media outlets. Second is that it is a non-personal way, that you cannot go door to door, that is going to become personal selling. Here you are reaching out from one to many. For example, friends, when an advertisement gets published in a newspaper, millions of readers who purchase that newspaper are able to see that advertisement. Therefore, advertising becomes a form of mass communication. Thirdly, there is always a scope of an identified sponsor in the case of advertising. You are openly paying for. So logo helps you in identifying that who has sponsored this advertisement. Let's look at what else is advertising doing and why is it becoming so prominent. And traditionally, it has been believed that advertising is the core ingredient of promotional mix, while all others are supportive elements. Why was that belief so prominent? And let's look at some of the unique benefits of advertising. First thing is that advertising is everywhere. Whether you look at print media, you look at television, TV advertising is a huge chunk. There is millions and millions of television households, television audiences. And latest, internet or tablets or your phones, screens, advertisements have penetrated everywhere. So they are there on the print, they are there on the TV, and there is point of purchase advertising. Now what happens is that advertising is today everywhere. You are out on the road, there is out of home advertising. You're reading the newspaper, it's there. So the reach of advertising has become immense. They are on all the media around you. The visuals capture your attention. The appeals are so persuasive. Then there is this cost benefit ratio that works in favor of advertising. There is a purpose that each advertisement is fulfilling. Let's try to look at these advantages point wise now. First of all, like I said, reach or pervasiveness. Advertisements are everywhere. They are reaching out to you through various media. The second thing is persuasiveness. Now, advertisings try to persuade you, convince you in how many ways? There are emotional ways, there are rational ways. Sometimes there are emotional appeals to do with love, family, health, fear, care. Other times there are rational appeals like durability or strength or efficiency. So in one way or the other, the advertisements have got the persuasion power to really convince you to buy the product. Then next is per person cost. It's a very cost effective medium. Like I told you, you purchase space in the newspaper, perhaps for 1,000 rupees or whatever, and this reaches out to millions of people. So imagine that an investment of 10,000 rupees for an advertisement, when reaches out to 1 lakh people, the cost per person becomes so economical. Then the positioning aspect again comes through advertising. Only you can position your product or brand in a specific way by giving them a lot of emotional content, by telling them how to think about this product. So advertisements campaign are able to do this. Then purpose. Now every advertisement has its unique purpose to fulfill. There are product advertisements, there are institutional advertisements, there are public service advertisements. So whether you want to sell a product, whether you want to create an image for an organization, or do you want to propagate an idea for the welfare of the society, all this can be done through advertisements. Prominence. Now, you might be able to miss out a catalog, or you might be able to miss out an outlet somewhere outside a shop selling free samples, but you cannot miss advertisements. Like we said, that they are everywhere. You step outside, there is out of home advertising. So they are very visible, they are very prominent, they catch your eye, one media or the other. All this makes your advertising a unique element of the promotional mix and a very powerful tool for integrated marketing communication. Another advantage, friends, is that successful advertising campaigns can be very beautifully leveraged into the integrated marketing communication campaigns. The next element that we are going to talk about today is direct marketing. Now, direct marketing is also a very important ingredient in today's day and age, because the consumer is surrounded by so much information that if you do not make an effort to directly reach out to your consumer, you might actually miss out on reaching out to him at all. Let's see what happens in direct marketing. Organizations communicate directly with target customers to generate a response or a transaction. So they're not going through any other media, but they are trying to go directly to a consumer. What all does direct marketing involve? You might think that direct marketing is limited to direct mails. You get an email, you get a postal mail, and they ask you to subscribe to their products. But today, direct marketing has gone way beyond that. Number one, there is database management. Database of who? Database of existing customers, prospective customers, their date of birth, their ages, their geographic backgrounds, their likes, their dislikes, everything about your prospective clients is maintained in the form of a database. Direct selling. You are actually going to the customer and selling your product without any intermediary. Telemarketing. We are all aware of this particular feature of marketing, perhaps the least desirable, often sometimes not seen in a very good spirit, but that's how you get awareness about so many products, offers, schemes, etc. Direct response advertising. Now, direct response advertising is a little overlap with the previous ingredient, but that also shows that how these ingredients are blended together. Direct response advertising means an advertising which encourages the consumer to purchase a product directly from the manufacturer rather than going to a retailer in between. This kind of advertisement is putting the consumer directly in contact with the manufacturer so that direct selling can be pushed. So in this case, the advertising ingredient of promotional mix is helping the direct marketing ingredient of the promotional mix. Let's look at what else does direct marketing do. Direct marketing is becoming very important in IMC, a tool for the consumer product and B2B companies. B2B companies means business to business companies. Now friends, often companies are also making products which cannot be sold to the consumer in the direct form. So only one business becomes the client for another business. For instance, if I am making a chip, an Intel chip for a laptop, I cannot sell that chip directly to a consumer. So my client then becomes another business who is manufacturing laptops. So direct marketing becomes a very important tool for such kind of companies also. First of all, hefty budgets are being allocated for database management. Like I said, the whole contact details, the whole details about your prospective and existing customers is being maintained. Telemarketing. Organizations call customers directly and they attempt to sell them the products over the phone only. And these days it is turning into an internet-based activity also. So telemarketing has turned into internet marketing also. Then direct mail is of course being sent out to the potential consumers, and product is also being distributed in a way that there are new techniques which are being used to distribute this product to the target users. Let's look at a case study which will further help us in understanding how direct marketing is being done and why direct marketing has become so important in today's day and age. Friends, we've all heard of the brands like Pampers or Huggies, and these have a huge chunk of the market ratio in countries like America, etc. Now, this is a case study about Pampers. What happened was that Pampers was a market leader, but with the coming of Huggies, Pampers kind of started to face a little slouch in the business. So they needed to do something to get back. But their existing television advertising campaigns weren't giving them the kind of benefit that they were looking to. So they moved on towards direct marketing. Let's look what all did they do. First of all, Pamper decided to introduce one-on-one approach in addition to their TV-driven campaigns. What did they do in this one-on-one approach? They started distributing CDs to mothers. And the content of these CDs was various life stages between the child and mother. Then they also sent samples, discount coupons to encourage free first purchase. The next thing that they did was they moved on to interactive digital TV, the IDTV that you use today, and why it was used to bridge the combining of the emotive strength and visual quality of traditional TV advertising. Ultimately, what happened was that consumer research showed that people had a new perception of this brand, and Pampers became more successful. The kind of objectives that they were trying to achieve, they were able to do so. Now, what is that one thing that they did? Rather than just looking at this whole thing as a nappy brand, they tried to create a relationship by directly reaching out to their consumers. So this direct marketing helped them in getting that edge that the TV advertisement campaign wasn't being able to do alone. Let's look at the next element now. Very closely related to this element is interactive marketing or the interactive media. Internet today is the most popular interactive media. And what all is it giving us? It is giving us this power to really go on the internet and search for things as we want to. A customization has been brought into the whole aspect of it. Now, technology is one massive reason behind this change, and interactive media have thus become a quintessential tool for IMC. What are the two reasons? One, it allows a two-way communication, that you are able to give in your input, you are able to receive an input. Then there is huge section of target audience which is using this interactive media. So it is easier for you to reach out to your audiences. Let's see how is this being done. Now, like I said, internet is the media which has had the most significant impact in terms of interactive marketing. Internet has changed the ways company is designing their whole campaigns, their marketing strategies. Interactive media allow for a back and forth flow of information whereby users can participate and modify the form of content. For instance, I am using Instagram or Facebook or any other content. I am able to actually participate in their content. I am able to put in my comments, my content. I am able to use hashtags and become a part of the content which the company is actually then using for further consumers and customers. So this idea of actually being part of the content, the participativeness, the two-way communicationness, the quick feedback, all this makes interactive media a very important ingredient of the promotional mix. And we are all familiar with the fact that even if we have plethora of information, this whole literally information at the tip of your finger, that's there. Now you can choose from all this whatever you want. You can get just at the fingertip, you'll get all the information and you'll get a quick response, which is not possible perhaps in the mass communication media because that's one-to-many and this is one-to-one interaction. What are the elements of this promotional mix? Interactive marketing reaches out to you in the form of a website. All organizations are today maintaining their websites. They are able to reach out to you. They give you information. You are able to follow the links. You click on a link. You can go wherever you want on a website. There is social media pages also. You can see the successful organizations maintaining almost all social media accounts in a pursuit to reach out to their audiences. There are blogs. There are mobile applications today. At one click, you are able to get an application for everything from health, medicine, fitness, shopping. So all these are the ways in which a consumer is being tapped through interactive marketing. And internet is actually becoming a medium to integrate all these elements of the promotional mix. The next ingredient that we are going to talk about today is something that I want you to take a moment and think. Look at the screen and look at these visuals in front of you. A 50% sale, special deal, limited time offer, early bird price. What all comes to your mind the moment you look at these messages? There is a sudden urge to go and buy the product. Friends, this ingredient, which urges us to buy the product suddenly, it encourages impulse buying. It kind of adds a temporary value to the product. This ingredient is called sales promotion. It is a very important ingredient of the promotional mix, and often you come to know about these sales, discounts, deals, and that is the moment when you really think of making a purchase. For instance, if you've been trying to think of buying a cell phone, you keep on thinking ki, whenever the Diwali sale comes, I'll buy the phone then. Or perhaps if somebody says that you've not bought this, you tell them that nahi, abhi sale to aane wala hai. So you kind of wait for that sale. So this ingredient has the prime factor of actually adding a temporarily perceived value to your product. That this is a limited time value that we are giving. So what happens? The prospects are able to take a quick action. Now, sales promotion is essential tool for integrated marketing, as it is important that the sales promotion activities are communicated to the consumer through other ingredients of the promotional mix. Now, if there is a 50% discount, I might not be able to come to know about it until and unless an advertisement really tells me about this discount. So either through personal selling, either through internet, either through advertising, some ingredients need to communicate me what is being given in sales promotions. What are the objectives of sales promotion? Number one, it improves the sales of existing products. Number two, it encourages the consumer to make an immediate purchase. Number three, it encourages the repeat purchase by current users. Number four, it encourages trial by new customers of the existing products. And number five, it helps us introduce new products in the market. So all these objectives are reached through your sales promotion ingredient. Next element that we are going to discuss today is publicity or public relations. Now, in today's day and age, when there is plethora of information available to you, you have no dearth of brands offering the same product to you. What is it that makes you choose for one brand than the other? It is the unique relationship that that brand tries to create with the consumer. How is it done? It's done with the help of public relations. In very simple words, public relations is actually a management function which helps you in building mutually beneficial relationships between the organization and its publics. The broader objective of public relations is actually creating a favorable image of the organization. And how does that happen? When you have good relations with an organization, you have a good image of the organization in your mind. So the idea now is that relationship between the organization and the public needs to be cultivated, needs to be maintained so that they can look at the company in a favorable light. Publicity is closely related. It is actually, in fact, a part of the PR effort. Publicity is a part of number of activities, and it is a non-personal form of communication again. And it's not directly paid for, or it's there's not always a identified sponsor for it. For instance, if I get a promotional article printed in a newspaper, it's a publicity actually. But what is the advantage? It runs on the credibility of the media, the third party. When I see a promotional article, I look at it as a piece of editorial content. I do not know that it is a promotional article until unless I notice the word advertorial or promotional content over it. But I read it with full credibility of the media in which it gets printed. So that's why publicity is also becoming a very important tool of promotions. Now, although traditionally publicity and PR were only considered as supportive elements, like I said, advertising was believed to be the main element, and publicity and PR were believed to be the partners or supporters. But today it has become a quintessential communication tool because companies are by and large realizing that what is actually going to place or position the product favorably in the mind of their consumers is the relationship that they are able to create with a brand. Let's look at the next element of promotional mix, which is personal selling. As the name suggests, personal selling means a person-to-person communication in which a seller attempts to persuade a prospective buyer by asking him to purchase the product, idea, and service. Now, the biggest advantage of personal selling is a direct face-to-face contact between the buyer and the seller. There is flexibility in communication. Now imagine when somebody comes to your home to sell a product. They are perhaps trying to give you the benefits of the product, and whatever information you give them, they are able to quickly tailor make their whole conversation according to your needs and requirements. So there is communication flexibility. There's quick feedback. If you tell them that no, we don't want this, we already have this, so they'll show you an upgraded product. So there is customization in communication according to the buyer needs, and this is the unique advantage of personal selling. Now, promotional management is also required. Once you've got all these ingredients, somebody needs to be really managing these ingredients so that we get the correct blend. Promotional management involves coordinating the promotional mix elements to develop a controlled, integrated program of effective marketing communications. Factors considered in developing the promotional mix or IMC program include the type of product at hand, the target market that you are going to cater to, the buyer's decision process, and the product life cycle. So while you get in the blend, while you're thinking what is going to be your advertising, what kind of sales promotion activities you will get, how are you going to channelize personal selling, you also have to keep these factors in mind, that what is your product, who is your market, where is the product being sold. Friends, let's move on to the last part of today's lecture, which is called market segmentation. Market refers to the people whom you are going to sell your products to. Segmentation means how do you put them in different groups. Let's see what is the need to put these people in different groups. Now, consumers come from diverse backgrounds. There are people, for instance, let us look at the consumers for any kind of noodles. There are children who are wanting to eat noodles. There are youngsters. There are perhaps even working people who cannot come home and make a elaborate meal, so they'll always want to have some kind of noodles in there. This thing. So there are people of different age groups, there are people of different socio-economic groups, there are people from different geographical locations. Different kind of people are part of your consumer base. What can be done to reach out to them in a better way? Let's look at these spools of different colors. They're also diverse, they're also scattered. So if I have to kind of figure out one age group, or if I have to figure out one socioeconomic group, it's becoming very difficult for me to figure this out. But if I organize them in a certain sequence, if I put one single color in one particular group, then what happens? Now I am able to focus all my energy in this group. I know that this is a particular group which needs to be catered in a certain way. So market segmentation involves dividing your market into a homogeneous segment. What happens next? Once you, when you look at this particular visual, you can see that if different colors are seen as different homogeneous groups of consumers, it becomes easy to target them. Now, market segmentation is thus understood as the process of splitting customers into different groups or segments within which the customers with similar characteristics have similar needs, and by doing this, each one can be targeted and reached with a distinctive marketing mix. Targeting means that you are selecting the most profitable segments. For instance, if I understand this is a chunk of or age group of people who can be reached through internet, it becomes easy for me to reach out to them. And what does positioning mean? Positioning means to communicate specifically to that segment in a certain way so that they can perceive your product in a way different from your competitors. Friends, there are types of segmentations that the marketers have to look at. First of all, there is demographic. People can be put in different segments according to their population characteristics. Second is socioeconomic segmentation, that based on your education, income and occupation, you can be put into different groups. There is literates or illiterates, there is this middle income group, high income group, there is this business class and working class. So you can have different groups of consumers. Then geographic, which is based on your location. Behavioral, based on the way how you react or what your behavior is towards a particular good and service, you can be targeted in a different way. Then psychographic, what are your likes and dislikes, what are your attitudes, what is your lifestyle, what is your opinion. All this helps in segregating, and you will be surprised to know that Facebook, Instagram, the social media that we actively use, it actually monitors our online behavior, and according to our online behavior, it is able to actually segregate us into market segments. So that's how we are targeted easily by the advertisers today. So friends, that brings me to the end of this lecture. Let's do a quick recap of what we have learned today. Our crux of the whole lecture today is an understanding of the promotional mix. Promotional mix consists of 4 basic elements, which are public relations and publicity for a warm relationship with the consumer. Advertising, because it's got the best reach, it's got the persuasion, it's got the visuals, appeals, pervasiveness. Sales promotion, because a discount and offer is always going to have an impulse buying reaction. And personal selling, because there needs to be a flexibility. And the 2 new ingredients that have now become most important, first is direct marketing, that despite TV campaigns, despite publicity, despite offers, people still need to have that one-on-one connect with you. And interactive media, that is the internet, where people can feel that they are actually the part of the content that is being generated. So our learning today revolves around understanding what is promotional mix, what are its ingredients, what are the strengths of these ingredients, and how they can come together in actually selling a product in a better way. To check whether you've actually practically understood today's lecture, there's a small task that you can do. You could try creating a promotional mix for launch of any hypothetical product idea or service. I'll take one small example with you. Let us say we are launching an online course. Now, this course on integrated marketing communication, let us say I want to launch it online. So what are the promotional mix ingredients that I will use? I will use advertisements on various media. That's my most visible ingredient. I will use direct marketing. I'll send out emails to all the prospective students by buying database from somewhere. Then interactive media, I'll have social media pages, I'll make short videos, I'll try to interact with a lot of people, asking them what are the requirements that they think they can fulfill from an online course. Then I'll try to put a news story in the media, I'll try to generate some publicity. I'll also have, I can have introductory offers on registration for the course, which can be again communicated through all these media. So I'll be able to make a promotional mix, keeping in mind these ingredients and the target that I'm trying to achieve. So perhaps there is no space for us to sometimes fit in all the ingredients, but if you can, for a task, look at any kind of hypothetical product and see what ingredients can best help you put the promotional mix together. So that's the end of today's lecture, friends. The readings and references are these, and that puts me to the end of this lecture on understanding the promotional mix or the tools of integrated marketing communication. Hope you have learned something of value today, and see you in the next lecture. Thank you.